What I would like to do is to invite you to experience whatever your version of stillness would be. Because I don't know you, I really don't know exactly how to do that. What I do know is that connecting with the quality or just the experience of being still, it really soothes the spirit. It's very like a balm that kind of heals a lot of what ails the modern mind. It can come as such a relief to experience stillness. You don't need special skills to do it. You don't have to achieve any special kind of meditative states or levels of awareness. It's not necessary, because what stillness is really just the natural state of the mind. It's just already like that. Personally, and this is just for me, there are certain environmental things that help me, particularly being alone in a quiet place, especially if it's sunny outside. That really helps me. But that's just my particular personal preference, really. I don't think that you need to have those things in order to experience stillness. And then for me, what is like antithetical or just opposing that for me is the internet and technology, pretty much. So I know that about myself, that if I'm engaging with a social media feed, for example, sure, I can find stillness within that, but it's definitely not the best environment for me personally. Your mileage may vary. Um, but yeah, I just want to invite you to practice it, just to seek it out. Going to a park bench somewhere if it's nice out, or going for a walk by yourself, or maybe with other people, but people that aren't going to just talk and gossip the entire time. Again, that you can find stillness within that, but the like idle chattering of the mind is kind of what I'm trying to let it relax and let it go, so that I can experience other than that constant mental narrative. There's not a whole lot else that I really would truly want to share with you. I think that kind of covers all the bases, is finding that stillness. So I just wanted to invite you there, and maybe in being together in that experience, it can sort of support your version of whatever that is. And, there's always a time for activity as well. Sometimes we can notice that there's an impulse for activity, and sometimes we can just let the impulse come up and see what happens next. Are we going to act? Or are we going to speak? Or are we going to relax into it? There is an aliveness to what I'm describing as stillness. So, one analogy for this can be the breath. We're breathing naturally in and out, which by definition is actually not stillness in that sense of the lack of movement. It's actually moving in and out. But actually, that movement is a natural movement. If we were to try to make it still by holding our breath, that is not what I'm talking about. Similarly with the mind, all of the stuff that comes up for you in your experience right now, that's thoughts, feelings, impulses, and stuff like that, we just have to allow those things. We don't want to suppress them because that's just actually a movement, and that's not stillness. So stillness definitely speaks. Stillness definitely moves. It definitely acts. And we're trying to figure out where we are at any given moment within that movement. And in moving with the movement, we become still. In allowing the movement to happen, we are sort of this like center point of that experience. And it's always changing. So the paradox is that to find stillness, we also have to be constantly in flux. That's the part that I personally find so interesting. And it keeps everything fresh. Because you never know what's going to happen next. And that makes it exciting. So while we find the calmness of the stillness, any given moment, something exciting can come up and we can be renewed. So that's the antidote to boredom. Oftentimes we can find ourselves feeling boredom when we're trying to find stillness. And that boredom is sometimes more of like a resistance to all the movement that's happening because we're trying to be still, but it's actually stirring things up. So I'm not sure why the universe is that way. I have no idea. I'm just explaining what I've observed and experienced and what I found to be helpful, which is just giving the space and time to be still. So yeah, if that's the time that it is for you, then that it is, and if it's not, then it's not. There's always a new experience happening, and the conditions are changing constantly. You know how sometimes you can find, like in the middle of an afternoon. Right now, for me, it's 12:10 on a Monday morning in March, and it's so quiet. I hear I don't know what that is. A frog? A bird? Just making this chirping outside, and then it's just silence in between. So we find ourselves in these particular moments where sometimes it just quiet. I am going to sign off of this video in just a moment and go back and find some activity to engage in. But if you're in a place of stillness, then stay there for as long as makes sense for you. And I wish you the very best. Take good care. And we'll see you next time.